Welcome to Bella. This is our Lily Hill property. We've got the whole Dry Creek Valley behind us. Our owners, Scott and Lynn Adams, bought this property in 1995. They were up here and actually saw that this property was for sale. They'd been really thinking about trying to find a way to focus on the wine industry and outdoor living and kind of the rustic approach to it all, and this seemed like the perfect environment. Scott is originally from Minnesota, Lynn is from New York, and they have started Bella, also raised all of their, well, in the process of raising all their 4 children out here, and that's actually, this property, Lily Hill, is named after one of their daughters. Primarily we grow Zinfandel here, and this, a lot of this Zin goes into our Dry Creek Zin. This property is really well suited for that, mainly because we've got some really steep hillsides here, and it serves to stress the grapes very well. We want to make life pretty hard for Zin. You know, we'd rather have less fruit, but have it get really good and ripe, and that's what this property gives us. We have drip on a lot of things, but we often don't use it. Dry Creek Valley, I think, is the benchmark for Zin, A, because I'm biased from here, but Dry Creek Valley is the benchmark for Zin, mainly due to its temperature and its location, as well as the soil. It's hot here during the ripening season, but not as hot as many other wine regions, and so we're about 30 miles from the coast as the crow flies, but there's still a lot of coastal influence, so it cools it down, but the fog burns off here a lot faster than it would, say, down in the Russian River Valley. The soil here too is really well drained. It's clay-heavy loam, basically, and like a lot of these properties that have hills, we actually have several different soil types here, but a lot of what you see on the face has a lot of clay, very red, a lot of iron in the soil, and that's really good for Zin because it keeps a little bit of that moisture around the roots. So even though we don't water it very much, it keeps the vines healthy and producing through drier times. Zinfandel is European in origin. It's originally from Croatia, but I think in California we've really claimed it for ourselves, and it just thrives out here. We've got a combination of older vines and younger vines here. Old vines are really integral to the process just due to the dark, intense fruit that they provide. Old vine Zin is something that you see a lot of out here, and for really good reason. We think it produces some of the best, most intense, most flavorful Zinfandels that you find. When we say old vine, there is no official legal definition, but the commonly accepted range is above 50 years, old vine, above 100, some people use the term ancient, and there's a lot of it out here. We're fortunate to have 2 old vine blocks on this property, one planted in 1916, 1917, right around there, another planted in the 50s. Now, a lot of times when you see these vines, they're going to look like little trees. They're not going to be on a trellis system. That's the way everything used to be planted. And the advantage now is the vines are, as they get older, they produce less fruit. But the grapes that they do produce are physically smaller, and that gives you less juice, more skin. So it gives you kind of darker, more intense fruit, that skin to juice ratio. We also try to imitate that a little bit with the younger Zin that we do. Even though a lot of our Zin is on a trellis system, we're going to thin it pretty heavily to simulate that same yield that the old vines have. So that's not only the backbone of a lot of our wines, but also the inspiration as well. As for the style of Bella's wines, it's kind of a combination of tradition. However, I think our Zins are a little bit beyond just the really old rustic style of Zin. We'd rather have wines that are a little bit higher acid, more food friendly, alcohols that aren't totally off the chart, which can be an issue with Zins. Really, we want something that's pretty all-purpose, something that you can drink on their own, but they really shine with food. So the real purpose of the cave is the temperature and humidity, which are the perfect environment to age wine. We age our Zins, Syrahs, and everything that we make here in the cave. Now, we completed the cave in 2004, and we drilled and blasted this out of the hillside. So we get all the benefits of a natural cave. However, our owners created this ourselves. Beyond just the temperature advantages, it's a little bit more moist in a cave, and that's actually going to help the barrels from drying out. But our barrel capacity here is about 350 barrels, and once it's in barrel, it ages in the cave.